There comes a moment in every woman's life when she realizes her plans are not the ultimate authority. She may have spent years shaping her path, carefully setting goals, preparing for the future. Then suddenly everything shifts. God interrupts. And when he does, there is only one response that leads to peace: yes. Mary understood this. She had her own plans, her own expectations for life, but when God called, she did not resist. She asked, she listened, and even though she probably didn't fully understand, she accepted, without hesitation. That is the kind of trust God asks of us. Not blind obedience, but faith that believes his ways are higher, even when our understanding is limited. Life's interruptions are not accidents. They are divine shifts, purposeful redirections from the one who sees beyond what we can comprehend. When God interrupts, he is not destroying our plans, he is refining them, realigning them with his perfect will. He is calling us into something greater than we imagined. The question is, will we fight to hold on to what we thought was right? Or will we surrender to what he knows is best? Our ancestors lived with this wisdom. They did not move through life clinging to control, afraid of change. They understood that interruptions are part of the rhythm of existence. Just as the tides shift, just as the land is reshaped by time. They adapted, they listened, they walked forward. That is the legacy we inherit. But even deeper than ancestral wisdom is the truth that God alone holds authority. He does not simply guide, he commands. And when he speaks, the only response that carries power is yes. Trust is not always comfortable. It may mean stepping into the unknown, leaving behind what feels secure, embracing change that wasn't planned. But what if the interruption is actually the answer to the prayer you didn't even realize you were praying? What if God is clearing the way for something far beyond what you asked for? What if the plans you were building were never meant to be fulfilled in the way you imagined? Because he has better? Mary did not hesitate. And that single moment of surrender became the foundation for something eternal. That is the power of obedience. That is the power of a woman who listens when God calls. The question isn't whether God will interrupt, because he will. The question is, when he does, will you say yes? E ke akua una manonoa. I stand before you with a heart full of plans, dreams I have shaped, paths I thought were certain. I have held on to my own understanding, believing that my direction was clear. But now you have stepped in. You have interrupted, shifted, called me into something I did not expect, and I know, deep within me, that this is not a disruption. It is your hand at work. You see beyond what I can see. Your ways are higher, your wisdom deeper. I do not want to cling to my plans if they are not aligned with you. I do not want to fight for a path you are asking me to leave behind. But Lord, this is not easy. Help me to trust. not just in your plan, but in your timing, in your purpose, in the unseen goodness that you have already prepared. Mary asked and you answered. She may not have understood everything, but she did not hesitate. She surrendered with one word, yes. Knowing that your will is always greater than what we imagine for ourselves. I want that kind of faith. I want that kind of courage. So today I ask, not for control, but for wisdom. Not for certainty, but for trust. Not for the ability to hold on, but for the strength to let go. If this interruption is your calling, let me welcome it with open hands. If you are leading me somewhere unexpected, let me walk forward without fear. If what I planned is not what you planned, let me say yes without hesitation. I surrender, because your way is always better. Amen.